What up, headbangers? How you doing? I'm Robb O'Day, and welcome to the Greasiest of all time. Today we're chilling with Interpreter out of Tennessee, I believe, right?
Yes.
How are you guys all over Tennessee?
We're relatively in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm Murfreesboro. These two guys are Nashville, and I'm kind of in between.
Okay, so yeah, different areas, but you guys all get together to rock out.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's like a medium, like in the middle, so like this is where the practice.
Yeah, so like I'm in the middle, so the practice place is at my house.
That's awesome. Why don't you introduce yourselves and let us know how you guys got together?
Sure, Wade.
Hey, I'm Wade. I'm the vocalist.
I'm Aaron. I'm the drummer.
Ryan, I play guitar.
I'm Jay. I play the bass.
This guy can explain it's basically been me and him for a while.
It hasn't been easy. We'll put it that way. I ended up just deciding that I wanted to. Obviously, hey, we're a band. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Big band. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so basically, I paid attention to everything that I went through throughout the years as far as music projects, and I was like, hey, let's try this, let's do this. It got shot down. I was like, you know what? Maybe because I was always a part of somebody else's project. I was like, if you want to do something right, you might as well go ahead, walk out on that limb and get it done the way that, you envision it. And so I was like, well, I'm going to start a band. I got to thinking, I was like, well, what are we going to call this thing? And I was like, well, most people are like, I can't understand your music. And I was like, man, that's perfect. Interpreter,
Mm-hmm.
And it means to understand, obviously. And I was like, that's perfect for everything that I want to go for. And so I was walking through Amazon. A guy stops me at lunch. He's like, man, nice show, last month. And I was like, wait, you were there? He was like, yeah. He's like, dude, I can't.
Is that what me and you?
No, that was right after I left Ball of the Slaughter.
Oh, okay.
And so he was like, yeah, well, I play guitar. I said, man, come by. Let me see what you got. He sent me some stuff. He was going to school for audio engineering. Then he wanted to go for a different style. I guess you could say my style of vocals wasn't really matching up with the sound that he was going for.
Okay.
And
no,
Brian Sis came in, and we ended up finding a drummer in Bristol. He came down, and we ended up writing a song called Alligator, and that was the first single that we had actually put out. Long story short, those guys no longer with the band. They ended up departing. Of course, we're all on good terms. We still talk. We're still familiar with each other in buds.
Yeah.
Then I kept hitting Ryan up, and I was like, look, man, hey, why don't you play with me? And he was like, at first he was like, nah, man, like, I'm with Behold Slaughter. That's what I'm trying to do. And I was like, all right, cool. And about a couple months later, I was like, yo, come play with me. And he was like,
no, I wasn't doing Behold Slaughter. I was doing Doom Factor.
No, you were doing both.
Was I doing both?
Yeah, that was at the ending days. And he said, you know what? Fuck it. Everybody else is joining other projects. Sure, I'll come out and jam. He came out.
I already had like 2 songs written.
Yeah, he came out.
No, this was after Behold the Slaughter because they decided they didn't want to be a band anymore, so they broke up. And then I went and played for Doom Factor for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I was like kind of in limbo.
Yeah.
And that's when I started getting into like recording myself and like getting into the mixing and mastering.
See, I didn't know any of this.
Mixing and mastering process. So I was already like writing songs. I think I had 2 songs.
Yeah, you had Warmonger and something.
So like, so I already like the 2 songs that are on our EP. Like we've been sitting on these songs for a while because like every time we would get around to the recording process,
it'd be a lineup change.
Like our fucking drummer would we basically had an issue with substance abuse in
Yes.
this fucking band.
Yes.
Like we would get a drummer, we'd have a solid lineup, we'd be playing shows, and then we'd be like, all right, cool. And then like I would have the drummer come in and like track his parts and stuff like that, because we were just gonna like DIY, like from the get-go, we were just like, hey, let's try to DIY this as much as we can. So like I kind of got a grasp on like what I'm doing and like getting better at it. So I was like, hey, just fucking come here, track some drums. And so like we had his drums tracked, and then I had like 2 songs. I think we were doing Dirt Mound.
Yeah.
So we had Dirt Mound tracked, and it was good. It was great. And
so long story short, basically, you know, like he said, substance abuse. You know, we ended up having to go through at least like 2 lineups of people, but it ultimately led us to where it was just me and him, and we sat there. He wrote "Welcome Home." I ended up putting the lyrics to it, and then I had talked with this guy, Aaron, a couple of times.
I put a random post on Facebook. I was like, I was like, is anybody out there looking for a metal drummer?
Well, I hit. All right, so basically, I ended up having a party at my house, and at this time I had already went out and invested in everything I needed to physically be able to go play a live show.
so yeah, guitar amps, drums,
Everything.
PA.
Yeah.
Like then
He was basically like saying, hey, join my band. All you gotta do is bring your guitar.
just show up.
Are you talking about the
Show up.
party where I was fucking? I was like,
Yeah.
I was tipsy as fuck, and you're like,
I was like,
gotta shit.
yo, let me show you my room, and then you went in there, and then
I was like, dude, I was chilling this
I got
drum
a
set.
guitar.
I started fucking jamming on it.
I got a guitar. Dude started throwing down, and I set the guitar down. I said, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, oh man, I'm just playing drums. I was like, no, dude, like, why aren't you playing for me?
Why did you win a band?
Yeah.
And so and behold, like we set up a day, and like our first practice like together was like
It consumed
it was crazy, because like I walked in and I was like, well, this is what we got right now.
It
This is
was
what we're working with.
me, him in a room with
Tiny ass fucking
where he
room
had
with
set up his
electric.
recording setup, and
Oh yeah, this like I was in my room in my old house. Like I had all the, because like we had an e-kit set up in my room, so we can like I could like practice. We could just basically like practice,
Yeah.
like put on headphones and not be loud. Like
and right.
Yeah,
was
no,
our-
it's smart to do it that way too.
Yeah, and just right, and that's how we had the drummer before him, like record all his stuff was through MIDI, and I just like it was like because I now times fucking the drum samples sometimes you can't even tell the difference.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was super
It's only in
nervous.
performance. That's when you can tell the difference.
Yeah,
And a true drummer will be able to
you
tell.
You definitely can tell like when drums have been programmed and when drums have actually
It's
been
another-
played. So like and that's what I wanted. I was like I can program drums all day long, but I want to get that feel is a whole nother.
The real feel is the real deal.
But then so we ended up finding him, and I ended up hitting up Storm.
Yeah.
And he's no longer with us.
Still love the
But
guy.
He's still alive.
Yeah.
He said that weird. He said that weird. He's like, he's no longer.
He's no longer with us.
But
He's
he
still
did.
alive.
He did end up bringing a key factor, which is Jeremy.
Jeremy.
We need to be able to get down with a thickness, and without that thickness, you're not.
And dude,
Right.
this guy right here is like, since he's joined the band, like as he puts it, has not stopped. Like as far as like, he's basically our PR rep.
Sure, yeah, I guess.
He's basically our PR rep. Like he's the one who booked this interview. He's the one that reaches out and been like, he's the one that got us on.
Basically, runs the social media.
Yeah, he runs social
He
media.
does shit that I cannot do.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, there's always one person in the band who's really good at it.
and
And
dude,
needed.
as far right now, he's fucking nailing it.
He's the guy.
Yeah. And I mean, your guys' sound is fucking brutal. Like, I sent it to a friend earlier and I'm like, you have to hear this. This is fucking filthy. like,
And see, that makes me feel so good.
Yeah.
like it's so good.
But that makes me because
He works so
I
hard
was
on this.
I was so self-conscious when we put this out because I
Oh,
was just
dude.
like, are people gonna fucking hate it? They're gonna shit talk it. Like,
No, like the vocals alone are like, there's parts where I'm sitting here just like waiting before you guys come on. I'm jamming to fucking your album, and I'm just like chilling. You know, you got
I don't know how
the
he
Grease
makes it
face.
come out of his body.
Dude,
Oh,
I don't
I
understand.
know. Dude.
yeah, just like me and him have worked together for like going
Couple
on like,
years.
like we were in a band together for like 2 years with Behold the Slaughter, and then we've doing this almost 4.
This is 5 years, Brian. I've been in the band at least 3.
Oh damn, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's been
like
5 years. So like me and him been doing like trying to get this band where it's at right now with the EP being released, because like
It's anybody starting a band. It's
it has
really
been a
not easy.
fucking journey.
Yeah.
It is a challenge.
To
No,
live.
it's hard.
I guess the hardest part is trying to get people's interest
Yeah, dedication.
Yes.
and dedication.
Especially as band members. Like, it's
Like,
hard to find people, like, there's people that are like, yeah, I'm down to be in a band, but they don't really understand what it entails. Like, they don't, like,
It's
are
like
you
a second
ready?
job.
Are you ready to
Yeah,
go on tour? Are you ready to starve
ready
to do this?
Are
You
you
know?
really? Are you ready to drop everything you're doing
and go.
and just go?
No.
I told them from the get-go, if I'm here, I'm in it till the end. Like that is my number.
It's like you're in it until it's over, or
Until his fucking legs fall off.
I'm in it till the end.
Yeah.
Real thing about just a band. You got to think about it from beginning of being like, oh, hey, what's up? Let's play some music to, yeah, this is going to be my full-time job for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
And if it's either A, you're in it, like he said, or B, you're not. Dedication is key. Also, pushing and just keep going is key.
Yeah.
Just because that you have a hiccup here, you have a lineup change here,
That's the thing.
or even
Yeah.
or even you have to make the most difficult decision of removing somebody doesn't necessarily make it easy. Being an entity of where you want to be seen by thousands, case in point, we'll just say, the biggest band out there, I think, is Metallica. It took them ages to get to where they are for millions.
Yeah.
And to do that is definitely not easy
No, it's
at
not.
all.
No, and I mean, a lot of people don't realize that's why our interviews are a little bit different than most. Like, most people aren't musicians asking musicians questions, right? They're podcast hosts or they're radio hosts, but like people who know what it's like to struggle, who know what it's like to constantly fucking
And also like
grind.
having each other's backs in that struggle, like
Oh,
yeah.
it means the most. Like it's
like a family.
Yeah, it's basically a family.
I'd say it's tighter than family, because like I mean, you can hate family members, but like with a band, it's like brothers, like family. Like my cousins, you can have cousins you don't like, but with like brothers, you've always got to be there for each other, kind of a thing.
Like fucked up last time or something, like you're always gonna come back in with that love.
like our trauma run to me was like when we went to Austin, Texas. When we played that, because I know Ryan. I wish you would have been. You had shit to do. You were doing the job thing, but like that was kind of one of the things that I was like, this is a test of like personality and like everything, because that was our first time we had like made a trip like that.
Mhm.
We fucking got along just fine. Nobody hated each other the whole time. We went and experienced like different fucking restaurants and stuff like that. Yeah,
Right.
it was a really great time, and I was like, damn, I was like, this is my new family. Like these, like just having that experience in its own was like, hey, like we all click, we all hit it off. Like we will never probably have problems with each other like that.
I am not going to say that at all.
Okay, hold on. There has been some time. That's the cool thing. Okay, I'm just saying there has been some times where and it's like we're still here today. Where there has been that time where it's like someone called somebody out and it was just like, that's the cool thing about the four of us is like we're able to call somebody out and it doesn't turn into it doesn't escalate.
We're adults.
You understand?
We're adults.
No, I'm pretty sure our band's the same way.
Constructive criticism, please remove yourself from where you're at, because life is about constructive criticism. Because nobody is perfect. You're always going to want more from other people.
And people are going to be
mistakes. What's better than, hey, vocalist comes to a drummer, might want to pick up on this a little bit. No, this, and then he calms down and it's just like, okay, we'll take.
Okay, I've been roasted a couple times.
I'm totally that dude. That's me in the band.
Yeah, it's not just one person.
Everybody sitting here right now
has been called out.
But we don't take it personally. We take it as like from an aspect of like, hey,
you get a little butt hurt, but I mean that's part of it. Like it's like if you don't get butt hurt, you're fucking social.
I take it as a challenge because like you're telling me this, like I need a betterment, like you work on this. I'm like, okay, well then I'm gonna focus on that.
But that's what's really important in your lineup is you want every individual in the band to want the same thing, which is to progress and push everybody to their best. And if you don't have that, even with the slightest one, then that one needs to go.
Yep, that's exactly how I agree too. Yeah, because it's then it's always going to be 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you need to take leaps and bounds forward, especially in a day and age where there's so many bands about to break out. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of how it is. The industry has changed. It's changed a lot over the past year alone. So it's going to be.
Dude, I work in the live entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I fucking know, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I work for a company that does production lighting for like big country artists and festivals and all this other shit, dude. And like, I'm glad we still have a fucking job.
Yeah.
Because most of those companies have either gone under, don't exist anymore, or they've laid off so many employees that like they have like literally 5 people working for them.
Yeah.
I'm gracious enough to where my boss was like, hey, I got this. Like there was a point where he was basically paying us
out of his pocket,
out of his own pocket.
Yeah, no, there's a huge movement in the UK right now for that, to push for industry workers and not musicians, like not the bands, people behind the scenes.
There would be no shows without roadies.
The road crew. That's
not many people think about that, right? They think, oh yeah, the music industry died over COVID, poor bands. Well, yeah, like I mean, we got hit hard, but at the same time, like everyone in the industry got hit hard.
All the people behind the scenes also suffered.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, there's my buddy Orlando.
Yeah, because like we have like our government has been trying to do like our boss, my boss has been he's basically been, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? God damn it. He's basically been lobbying for us. That's the word I'm looking for like the live entertainment industry. Like he's gone down to Washington, D.C. He's said, hey, you guys if you want to go back to normal and you want to like when all this is over with and you want to go to a concert, like you're going to have to like help out the people and the companies that put that shit on.
Mm-hmm. Like
if you don't have that, you're just going to have a band on stage playing like how we play at practice, like no mics, no PA,
you can only
no
go so
lights,
far with just music.
The wall of sound will never exist.
There will be none of that. Like, granted, like most bands can put on a show without that shit, but like that's just an extra element that people just don't realize. Like, hey, there's like crews of like 4 to 5 people that put that shit on. Like, so we have like a red alert, save our stages. There's a bunch there. Granted, there are some tours that are going out right now. They're like small and they're they're kind of pushing it, but like that hopefully that is like entails like, hey, and everybody here is getting the vaccine, so hopefully within the next 6 months shit will go back to normal. That's what my boss has been telling, like he's been saying. When I know that the company I work for is starting to do like real tours and like doing like shit, that's when I know that, hey, let's hit it, let's go.
Yeah.
Like that's the signal and the sign to go green light. That's the green light to be like, hey, let's fucking hit it.
Yeah, and it is open.
So I have like an inside information of being like, hey, I know what the fuck is going on. So like,
I got the inner tips.
Yeah, so like I'm getting the inside scoop of like what people don't realize as far as like, hey, there's people that put on shows. Like the guy that's playing the guitar doesn't tune his guitar.
Yeah.
A dude does that for him.
Just like
he
drums.
gets paid to do that.
Just like drummers.
Yeah.
Drums
So like,
and everything.
so like that's like people don't realize that. Like they're just like, oh, that guy tunes his own guitar. No, he doesn't.
No,
Like, you think Kerry King fucking tunes his guitar?
I don't think
No.
Gary King knows how to play guitar, but
Oh, there you go.
Long distance, high five. I got
no,
shit.
it's very true though. Like the industry
Yeah.
itself has been completely destroyed. But
Demolished.
at the same time, like that's kind of a blessing in disguise for us because now we can recreate it from the ground up.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I've thought about that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I have thought about that also. Is like, hey, it's like there were some standards that were pretty fucked up, and like
Mhm.
now it's like when shit comes back, it's like, hey, we can like kind of tweak it a little bit
Well, my thing
to
is
make it better. But like,
My thing is
Yeah.
the shitty thing is like they're not getting released to some of these like venues that
Accident.
yeah, the exit in right now is like they're trying to.
One of our
He's getting close.
No,
Yeah,
no,
right.
no. He's
So-
hit the
so-
goal.
He
So
hit
there's
the
a-
goal? Oh shit!
okay, so
Oh,
there's like a staple venue in like downtown Nashville.
Been over 50 years.
It's been there
Oh,
forever,
wow.
and so
like
like
Johnny Cash has played there. And
yeah,
shit.
so like there's a multiple Cannibal Corpse, you name it, they played.
Jesus.
fucking
so,
after the burial, fucking Make
um,
Them Suffer, dude. That
but
was fucking
anyways,
dope, that show.
They basically got bought. They were almost bought out
By a
to get-
hotel.
to get demolished to put up hotels.
That's sad.
So people like advocated for that. So that's the shit that's happening. Like there's
50
like,
years.
there's
The fucking
So-
mayor
so-
actually like got on and was like, "Hey, save this venue. You know, you can't."
yeah,
really
it's a
do it."
state.
Yeah.
It's a
Basically, what he's
it's a
telling-
landmark.
The battle's not over yet. So their goal was to raise $200,000 and
They did that.
ask the developer. Basically, it's up to the developer. That's it. Whoever has plans for that space to buy that building back and that property. And what the mayor has suggested that the next owners, if the exit in is to survive, is go ahead and get it as a historic landmark where it can't be
Destroyed.
Yeah. So that's a really big.
It's a
deal.
land.
So
it's a
it's not over
landmark.
yet, but he has raised the 200,000 that he was goal to reach.
They started that
wicked.
like, earlier this week.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, they
Within
started
a
that like.
week.
Yeah, earlier.
Wow.
Yeah, so it took them a whole week
Yeah.
to raise that money
Yeah.
because that's how big this venue is. Because that's like you want to go to see a show, a good like a fucking
Exit in.
show.
It's a
That's where
it's
you
a
go.
rock staple in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like
That's
Dead
crazy.
Center,
I've played it,
There's
I've played
more
it.
than just been rock there. It's just it's like that's where people like when they come here to do a show.
They
If
play
if they're not playing like the
Bridgestone or
they're
Municipal.
not playing Bridgestone or playing Ascend Amphitheater. That like the
Municipal.
small like a smaller level bands like Cannibal Corpse and like all the like the lower tier that aren't going to be
Devil
Like-
Wears Prada's played there.
yeah. So like bands like that, that's where they go to play here in Nashville because like they're not able to fill a fucking an arena or an amphitheater.
But they'll fill that building.
But they'll fill that fucking building.
I'll
It's a six. It's almost 1,000 cap. Isn't
Oh
it?
wow.
I think it is a
Well, you got the upstairs
well,
too. So
for a smaller venue,
For a small,
1,000.
I want to say it's up there. It's up there in like the head count as far as like cap. It's 9 to 1,000 people because like
That's
I've
insane.
been to shows there where it's like so hot it's hard to breathe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
dude, it is fucking insane.
That's so funny.
dude, I almost threw up the fucking when I went to that after the burial concert and that shit.
I
I didn't get to see
Yeah, I
the
think
Case of
it's
Strain,
great.
but I heard the Case of
Dude,
Strain
that's-
filled that place up.
Holy God, they did.
Oh, there was a time I played.
Make Them Suffer opened up and they railed it, dude. I was like, God damn, man.
So, like,
Railed it.
How is the local scene for when you guys like put shows on?
It's pretty good. I mean, when we were playing shows, there was a decent crowd.
Yeah.
I mean,
So the last
it's all about promotion. And here's the one thing. I'm gonna stand on my soapbox for a second. No one fucking does physical fucking flyers anymore.
No, and that pisses me
They
off.
fucking rely on Facebook, and then people are like, "Are you attending? Go!" And then they go, "Yeah, I'll go."
half of them.
And half those people don't go, and you're like, and like the thing is like you get false hope on like, hey, dude, there's gonna be like fucking like 80 to 100 people at our show, and then when you get there, you get 20 to 30 people, and you're like, fuck. It just fucking like it makes you feel like shit, or not. I don't know if it makes you feel like shit, but like it just like you like get false hope. It's like, oh fuck, all these people are like saying they're going, and then when they don't show up, you're like, all right, well,
everybody stand on my soapbox for a minute.
It's the exact same.
Yes, because we actually did have a full local lineup, no big wigs on this lineup, and we actually did very well of filling up one of our venues to about this close to nearly the same capacity as a big wig lineup.
That's wicked.
This show consisted of us, a band called Tell the Wolves I'm Home. It was also a band of it was also the Human Condition and Divisive. These 4 bands got together. No, it was Signals of Saturn.
Signals of Saturn. So they were all like low, like open. Like Signals from Saturn was the only touring band. All the other bands were local.
Us, Tell the Wolves from Home, Divisive, and Signals of Saturn. Because Divisive brought Signals from Saturn.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So basically, this is the same venue that's across the street from the Exit In.
Actually, just the same thing that Exit In's going through now.
So like, so basically, both venues are getting like
they're getting saved.
They're getting saved, because I've only played the Exit In once, and it was fucking awesome.
Right? That's no. It's sad how many venues are shutting down.
Getting on the stage where you're like above, like getting on the stage where you're like 5 feet above everybody else. Is like, and just looking at all the fucking people up there, I was just like
a different perspective.
I've played there before too.
It's fun.
It's super fun.
I was kind of pissed because they didn't want to take the house kit down, and I was like,
you guys were talking.
I played rock.
You were talking about Facebook and how the going, how when people are at an event, right? It's the exact same concept. It's the same concept with on pages.
Okay. Well, the Facebook, the social media as a whole. Here's the biggest thing about it, because I run it. Everybody's kind of back and forth, because you can say that, oh, we're going to put on a show. Case in point, we had put together a massive charity show, and before the pandemic started, and we had to cancel that, of course. But you saw that when our community is in crisis and the community comes together, you'll see the numbers. But unless you're in some little clique or over here or over here, you don't necessarily get the publicity that some bands deserve. Not saying that us directly, but just even smaller bands that just start and who want to, build themselves, they don't get that recognition because this band is so-called in control of everything. Case in point, I had to deal.
The elitist shit, dude. Like so I want to stop you from pausing for a second. But for a while, when I was playing music, like back in like 2000.
Late 2000 or
2005, 2006, like there was like this whole elitist movement. Like it was just like, hey, we're good. You suck. And it was like, I still feel like that's still kind of lingering, because like some of the people that were in the elitist movement have like moved on from it, but they still have that elitist attitude. Like, hey, shit.
Nobody really supports anybody anymore.
Yeah, like we're all there for like the same purpose. Like, so I don't, get why they gotta act like that.
There's a lack of community.
But like there are some people that are just like that are like, hey, I'll be.
They're very humble. There's a lot of people that are very humble, but we as individuals are also in a state that we have to also fight against the biggest thing that is above us, and that's country music. And
that's true.
That's country music. Like you're talking
we are from like the fucking center
country music capital of the world.
Yeah, there you go. Like,
no, that's very true.
But as far as locals, this is a fantastic scene that when people actually really need that help,
and it's also when
you will find it.
And it's also when you get the right bands together too. like because like we have a fan base, and then it's basically based on like what bands have a bigger like because you kind of like be like, hey, you guys draw like 10, 20 people, and like oh this band draws like about 15 people, and then like you book a show with 4 bands that book at least like 20 people, like, and then next thing you know you got a fucking 80-person crowd. And near 100-person crowd. And
those people tell those other people.
And those people tell those people, and then like that's how that whole shit builds. Is like
that's how you
we just need to back, and that brings back to the point of your thing is like we need to restart.
Yeah.
Like build.
Well, I think what destroyed that is the popularity contest that social media created. And I think that's what I think that's what also killed the bands working with each other is because now it's the social media. Who's more popular? Who's got more likes?
I want you to fill my followers.
Yeah, and like I've never been that type of person.
So it's basically saying, well, you know,
like you can like 2 bands.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. Hey, I like this band. Why can't you just like that band as well? You know, it's not. There's no pissing contest.
Who's to say those bands couldn't play together and draw a bigger crowd for to bring more to your? Yeah, exactly. It's not saying that. Oh well. We're beat down, so we have to play with a beat down band. No, that's wrong. You want a wide variety of different music, so that way that those old school hardcore kids can get down to some new stuff because those bands over here that are writing new music may tweak your interests.
It's like a buffet, man. You want to taste everything.
Yes, you want to taste.
You want to
taste everything.
I think what I think it is bands need to. Oh, go ahead. I was going to say I think bands need to stop thinking that the shows are for them.
Yeah, it's not.
We're putting a show on for the people, right? So.
I don't play a show for me.
No.
I like the big part of the audience just as much.
I like playing a show. Yes, granted, I missed, dude, being off for like a year and a half, dude. I've been itching to play a fucking show.
Without the people, we're nothing.
It's stupid, but without the people that are there watching you, you're nothing. What's the fucking point? You might as well do what we're doing right here. It's fucking just jamming in a fucking shit.
Like, I'm pretty sure every time we've opened or done anything, I've always like stood and sat there and watched like everybody else.
Dude, I watch people.
That's what we need more of.
I'm in like mid fucking like this right here. And I'm like watching what other people are doing. Yeah. And I'm like,
no, quite literally the lack of bands supporting bands. In the crowd.
That's another thing. Like that's the whole elitist thing. Like that's like that, dude. That was a big thing here. And
I still honestly,
whose dick's bigger?
Well, it's like whose band can get more fans. It's like that's not the fucking point of playing music. Like the point of playing music is just to play.
Everybody gets together.
Exactly what you just said. The point of music is just to play.
It's what you like to do. What are you talking? What you? So if you you have to go back. Why do you play music? Yeah. You have to ask yourself, why do you play music?
So why do you play music?
I like to play music.
Well, I think that's what COVID did.
The reason why I played music is because the first time I actually was able to see somebody get really excited about what I'm playing. And this is me marching band. This is me in marching band watching these people. No, seriously, I'm getting goosebumps on But I was sitting there on the field in my drum line waiting for the show to start. As soon as the show starts, everybody is just hooked to you. There's silence. You hear nothing but us playing. But then when you're done, at the end of the set, it is nothing but applause, yells, yays, because they're really appreciative of what you just played. And it's the same.
And how you performed it.
Yes.
Because marching band is just not about playing music. It's about moving. Because you're fucking moving the entire fucking time. I know, because drumline, fucking, dude, you're drumline?
I used to play snare drum. I was a lead tip for a bagpipe band.
Oh, yes!
Yeah, so when you're talking about the feeling of playing a snare, I'm just like,
oh, man.
That's all that's going through my head.
When I was in school, I was like a little smaller than what I am right now. I was the littlest dude playing
the biggest fucking drum.
The big fucking bass drum, dude. I'm talking about like the biggest fucking bass, dude. It was great. because
That's awesome.
Oh, this is another thing because like we used to do the Mortal Kombat theme, like because we were also a football band. So like when you weren't doing marching, you were like average college shit. You were in the stands playing in the stands. So like I was in the metal. I was a metal kid, and like we were doing the Mortal Kombat theme. And we how Mortal Kombat thing is the dun 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 dun.
So what?
And then like when it goes dun 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 dun, and I had all of the bass drum line. I talked them into doing fucking. Dude, it was dude, and the fucking conductor was like, "I'll let it ride."
That's dope.
I'll
That's
let it ride.
fucking awesome.
Why do you play music?
Put double kick in the fucking Mortal Kombat theme. It's great.
Back to our
back to
what
okay, sorry.
we were talking about. Why do you play music?
Oh, dude, why I play music? I just like the same thing, like how you would. Like the same thing is like the first time I played the show, I like because I was like when I started playing music, I was like 16, and like the first show I played was great and everything, and just watching people react to like what I was doing on stage, that feeling of someone going, "That's fucking cool." Like, and then playing another show like 2 or 3 weeks later, that same person coming back, but then also bringing more fucking people, another person or more people to be like, "Hey, dude, check this out." Like, dude, it's a drug. It's like you're just like, "Hey, fuck!" Like, I want more people to hear.
It's better than drugs. Like,
well, I'm saying like you want to, you want to get the earworm in someone else's ear of being like, "Hey, this is what we're doing." Dude, just that feeling, and
It's
then
euphoric.
I just like getting on stage and headbanging, and just like I just like playing music, man. It's just like
It's a form of euphoria,
dude. It's a feeling.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It's euphoric.
Literally cannot describe it.
It's next level. And then a lot of people don't realize too that bands have like a weird telepathy with each other. Like people don't think that telepathy exists. We'll talk to fucking musicians about jamming.
Yeah.
Right? Like
especially between me and him, like dude, when we fucking
if we're in the pocket, we're in the pocket.
When you hit that pocket, man, you're just like I don't even have to look at him. I just know that I'm fucking like, yes, we are fucking there.
Yeah.
He talks about telepathy. It's just like when you watch. I was about to say when you watch a band and if you're not throwing down, like, if you actually take the time to watch a band instead of being in the pit and just stand and watch what they're doing, your favorite band of all time, whatever it may be, whoever it may be, you're able to really just see how the show works, what they did to create the show, and how them as individuals react during the show
to each other.
Yes, and even if shit goes south, here's a fantastic form of just being able to feed off of each other.
Yep.
If something goes out, nobody's gonna stop. They're gonna keep going until that person comes back in, or hey. It happened to Oceano during the show.
We've done it.
Strings break. Show's still going on. Guitar player slips away,
Dude,
puts a string on, and is back. It's just it's just one.
I've been like after a show, I've been like, bro, I dropped like 2 or 3 sticks. They're like, oh, I couldn't tell you. I was like, I'll snatch that bitch real quick. I was like,
so why do you play music?
Well, for me, man, like I started playing when I was about like 9 or 10. So, and I lived out in the sticks, like, and for me, at first I really didn't touch them. Like, my mom had to put my drum set together because I had no idea, like, what the fuck I was doing. I mean, I was a kid.
Little does he know he's the coolest mom on the fucking planet.
Oh, my God, she is. Oh, dude, I did not know where I would be at today without her. Like,
right.
Dude, I love my mom. Shout out to Mom, love you. But yeah. I mean, she was kind of like, your dad brought you a drum set, and I was like, and then she still put it together for me. So
so but like, see your fucking dad.
Yeah, but,
my dad wouldn't have bought me.
I bought my kid a drum set.
Basically,
I want someone to jam with when I'm older.
It was my outlet. Like, it was definitely a stress outlet for me because like. Like growing up, like I went through a lot of shit and everything, like, just different, just different scenarios of things. And to me, like, it was Alex, but she would be like, my mom would always be like, get your homework done, you can go play. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I'd literally like sit out there for like 3 hours. Like I figured all this shit on my own. I had nobody to like tell me anything. I would just like literally listen to music and just be out and just trying to figure it out. I think it took me like almost a month just to get like the hi-hat fucking bass and snare pattern down. But after I got that down, just started like progression from there. And then I ended up getting enough money and buying a dope bass pedal when I was like 14. And then I started playing like As in Lay Dying and like shit like that. Like the Frail Collapse, like way back in the day, like their first album basically. So I started playing stuff like that and I got into all that.
So again, why do you play music?
Why do you play
it? Because I fucking love every aspect of everything. It was an outlet of stress for me. Okay. And whenever like I get like you were saying, you pretty much stole like everything I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's
you stole it. It's like the same concept that we all have. Like, it was like basic.
That's okay though, because that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
at least the way I feel is that if you're a musician.
Well, the whole point I was trying to make was like the way I learned, like I can literally, if I start hearing something, I can literally, it's like the telepathy thing. Like I can literally hear what you're doing because I've played improv my whole life. Like it's fucking, like I start hearing things and then all of a sudden like we'll like start meshing and it'll just click. And then like, that's where the pocket is. And like, we're in the fucking pocket. Like we wrote some fucking.
So you play for the pocket.
Yeah, I'm in that pocket, bro. Like
he's a drummer. He's a drummer, dude. Like drummers like being in the fucking pocket.
And the funny thing is, everything he's saying, I can completely relate to because I play drums as well, and it's my favorite instrument. So I'm like, man, like it's true. It's to be able to bang on a drum kit is a totally different feeling.
Dude, I go to work, dude. Yeah, because like he's got 2 kits now, so he leaves his practice.
Shout out to SJC.
So he got a new SJC kit. Yeah, and he practices at home. Yeah. So he leaves his kit here. So it's like, so basically it cuts down on setup time for him to come here. So he practices like when he shows up and he throws a couple cymbals on.
My pedal.
Throws his double kick pedal on, boom, done. And then it's like, go. So like, and he leaves it here. So I fucking play to it, and like I go on YouTube and find like metal drumless backing tracks, and I'll just fucking just jam, dude. Anything, anywhere between like metal and jazz, like I'll just fucking jam.
Check out Drumeo.
Oh, hey, that's a good channel.
It's a good channel.
Yeah, they're from BC. They're fucking cool guys.
Sorry, rants. We have to apologize right now. We go on rants.
Tangents.
Go on tangents. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
All right, so
music. The reason I play music is to save my life.
Yeah.
In every aspect, it's kept me out of things that I'm not supposed to be into, and it's guided me and made me a better person and made me focus on the aspects of my life where I should be improving instead of the aspects of my life where I shouldn't be. And it's also helped me gather the community of the people that's supposed to be in my life rather than the ones that's not.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I agree with that 100%.
That right there is in a whole why I do this every day, is because not only do I get to meet new faces, but I get to put a smile on everybody's face.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fucking deep.
That's how you know he's the singer, though, right? That's how you know he's the vocalist, because he can wordplay. It's just well played.
Yeah, he knows what to say, when to say it.
Yeah, he's an awesome front man, dude. He knows how to put on a fucking show.
Right?
Like that's like your band could be fucking badass, but if you have a shitty front man, like that can make or break your fucking band, dude.
100%.
Very true.
That can make or
Look
break
at Guns N'
your
Roses.
So what do you got for us?
No, so like basically, I don't know. I find that the scene, like as you guys were saying earlier, that it's nice that it's supportive there, and then it's nice that it's slowly like the global community is slowly coming together again. I find.
Yeah.
And I think there's a handful of people leading that. And I think that the bands, I think at this point we have a really beautiful chance to get exposure.
The global community.
Yeah.
So the awesome thing about that is that I really do appreciate. I got to give a shout out to DistroKid because they have possibly helped the just music community in general.
Yeah.
Because this platform, for just a little bit of money, can literally bring somebody who has been playing music for 35 years out of the dark to somebody that let's say you're in California, somebody in Australia might really like what you're doing. Case in point, us. Currently, we're on Spotify.
Brazil.
And
Brazil.
We're all over.
Come to Brazil.
We're all over the world. It's crazy that you can get your music to somebody who may never could have ever heard you past this time.
Yeah.
You would have had to tour over there and book a tour, or even have somebody, who runs DistroKid, but old school, had to get your track out there, and could have taken months, when now it's just at the click of a button, which I'm really, really grateful for.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely thankful for the progression.
Yeah, because DistroKid, like you said, a small fee. Do they put it on Apple Music?
They put it on everything.
They put it on everything.
Every streaming platform that is accessible, they do. And just because you may not like Spotify, hey, we're on. People can get on just about anything that they can.
Yeah.
And with the internet, like you said, we're paving a new slate. Because all of the older bands that had to do it the old school way are slowly going.
Flyers.
Are slowly, they're slowly dying out. No disrespect by any means.
No,
but it's just that time for the next set of people to come up, and this is the way to do it.
Well, and
but you have to do it like you said.
Yeah, yourself.
Yeah.
And it's
just
weird.
Nobody's gonna do it for you.
Yeah, no. If you're not going to invest in your career, why the hell would anyone else?
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's what I was saying.
We have invested a lot.
Yeah.
So
We have invested a lot.
Here's the best fact out of this that I want everybody to hear, if you are even listening to us right now. This band has done everything from beginning to now DIY. It has all been done by us.
DIY.
Do you answer? Do you answer?
DIY. DIY. Do it yourself.
Dyslexia kicked in.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Words are hard.
So basically the way our EP came along is we were like, hey, we have a solid lineup. Let's fucking knock this shit out. And granted, so basically the whole COVID thing gave us that opportunity
to knock it out.
which is a blessing because
it was a curse and a blessing.
It was a curse and a blessing, but we took that time to fucking be like, hey, we have a solid fucking lineup. Let's everybody knows their shit.
Invest.
Bang it out.
We invested. This motherfucker got a Kemper.
I bought a Healer.
Which is he bought a fucking Healer. We fucking were like, hey, let's fucking
do what we got.
Let's get all the shit we need to do it. I bought this fucking goddamn expensive ass fucking DI box. Cause Misha Mansour fucking was like, hey, you want to do this? Yes. And I was like, all right.
No,
I trust you because your shit's good.
Honestly, I think all bands collectively hated the fact that COVID stopped everything. But in all reality, COVID has fixed the oversaturation of bands.
Yes.
The bands that are dedicated.
This guy right here.
Because the bands that are dedicated and work their ass off are still here. And the ones that were like, well, what the fuck can we do now? We're just performing for fun.
No, we took it and we fucking we fucking wrote I literally recorded drums in this fucking room.
So basically,
in this room that we're sitting in, I recorded drums in here.
So basically, what we did is we came in here, and because I wasn't really good at mixing drums at the time, and I was like, I want to get your feel for it. So what we did is we fucking came in here. He played on his kit. I mic'd his kit, recorded it, and like it was like, hey, we sent it off to a guy.
Thomas. Shout out to Thomas Rodriguez.
Yeah,
from Divisive.
He's the drummer for Divisive.
Yes.
Robb Studios, by the way, because he puts out some fucking awesome mixes.
Yeah, he's got some good mixes.
He mixed and mastered their last EP. Is it an EP or
It's
album?
an album.
Is it an album?
It's Codex Studios.
Yeah. So
shout out to Divisive.
Shout out to Divisive because those dudes, if you like some beat down shit and like low tempo,
down tempo
fucking beat, dude, they are the down tempo kings in fucking Nashville.
That's dope.
Like, they fucking own that shit. But anyways, we recorded and we nailed his best takes, and then I sent his drum tracks to him, and he
did I do it in a day, or how did you do it?
I think we did 2 days.
It was 2 days?
Well, technically it was a day because you came in here and did for a couple.
Because I had to fucking work or some shit.
Yeah, you had to do a couple hours, so it basically took a day. So he did a couple hours, knocked out like 3 or 4 songs, and he knocked out like the last 2. And then I fucking was like, hey, I sent it off to Thomas. He programmed the drums to like what he played. So like basically what you hear is him playing the drums, but it's all programmed.
It's all
and like, cause like after Thomas sent it back to us, me and him sat here for like a day, and he was like, no, that's a this and this is this. So I was like moving shit.
I had to move to my accents, like the splashes and shit. I was like,
dude, so like he's like, that's not right. That's what I do this here, and I'm like, all right, fucking move shit around.
Yeah, we did that top. So it's pretty good. It's fucking technology.
Yeah,
right.
We fucking knocked it out. So like I mixed and mastered the EP. And then as far as the album art goes, this guy came up with the concept. And then I was like, hey, let me take that and I'll fuck it. So basically, like I did me and him collabed on the artwork. And then as far as like, so we just DIY'd the fuck out of it.
That's how you have to do it.
We went to disc makers and was like, hey, we got our shit printed. Like, yeah, it's badass.
Shout out to Thomas. Just in case you don't know who Thomas is, it is the drummer of Divisive.
Yes.
Thank you for what you did.
We went through that.
You're late.
Oh, shit. Well, I wasn't here for it, but thank you.
Yes, no. Thomas is awesome, dude.
We've literally done everything literally ourselves. Even to booking. Well, shout out to Keith Wampler from the Coughless.
Yes, definitely.
Before, like you had said, when COVID hit, it kind of shut everybody down.
He had us set up with tours, like we were about to go on the road,
like you had said, it kind of just put everybody on a halt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even though it did put everybody on a halt, it did kind of bonker us, like, oh well, let's kind of wait it out. Well, the waiting out didn't happen, so then we made the decision of, oh hey, let's just. Let's do what everybody's not doing, and let's produce our own stuff. Like we've had a couple of outside sources actually critique our music while this process was going, and
the machine.
Oh yeah!
Shout out to the machine.
Shout out to the machine.
That dude, actually, dude. Yes. So this guy reached out. PR guy, by the way, reached out to the machine. The guy who did. Suicide Silence.
He produced the No Time to Bleed album, and then he also produced Lamb of God's Sacrament album.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So this dude took time out of his day. Like he sent him our entire EP, and dude listened to it and gave us feedback.
Get this. Wow.
And and then I just took that feedback, and he was like, "Yeah, you need to do like a this," and I was just like, "I know exactly what you're talking about." And I'm going to do that.
Check this out. So it was at first it was supposed to be a paid phone call.
No, this was before that.
This was before that.
This was before the paid phone call. Like he literally sent him the EP. He's like, "Hey, we want you." He listened to
that. That wasn't shit.
So he listened to it after we all agreed. We all agreed upon a mix. Like we sat in here and listened to we listened to it like 3 or 4 times.
5 times.
I think we listened to it like 3 or 4 times in here, like with my fucking studio monitor. Well, my old studio monitors. I got new ones now. But like we listened to that shit, and then we all agreed. We're like, this is it. This is the mix.
So when they did the car test, car test was.
And then I rendered it. and I fucking put it on Google Drive for everybody to have. And then this motherfucker sent it to the machine, and the machine was like, he literally had like a list. He was like, all right, the first song you can do, blah, 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 blah.
This.
Like, he's like, the kick drum is overpowering the guitars. Like, I would turn down the kick drum
sure.
or cut the bass out of the kick drum. So, like, the guitars, dude,
That's
did
dope.
literally everything that dude told me to do. I did it.
Good.
Like, because it's the fucking machine. Like,
Yeah.
No Time to Bleed and Sacrament. Have you listened to those fucking albums?
He definitely has more of a rap sheet than just those. But those are
But I'm
just
saying,
two.
those are the two that when you hear those two albums, you're like,
That's his.
Fuck.
That's him. That's
yeah,
him.
That's
and
him.
that's him in the minds of Will Putney.
So
But like he
Also
was,
another badass.
like he was saying. Long story short, we have been currently just chatting with Machine about just future endeavors, and this guy, I'm talking like they had no idea who this guy was.
I knew who he was.
Well,
because I do.
Well, I do a lot.
I did not.
You see the shit behind us? This is all me. Right here.
Again, long story short, I was able to chat with him one-on-one about just future things, and he's just remarkable. During this whole process, again, it's all done by us. I didn't pay anybody to get these emails, or even currently, I don't pay anybody to get this information. It just takes the initiative of saying, like I did to you. It's just a second of reaching out. Hey, would you be up for this? And it's either going to be yes or no. And if it's a no,
I don't understand why people don't get that. It's
then okay.
No is the worst thing that can happen.
Next caller, please.
Yeah, if they say no, it's like, all right.
So while we're on
worst they can say is no.
Yeah.
So while we're on the subject, you listen to the EP?
Yes. I listened to it for about twice before I got the interview with you guys. Because the interview before you, they didn't they had to reschedule, so I just put your guys' EP on and such it.
So listening to it, what stuck out to you? What was it like? Maybe even a song.
Yeah, what's your favorite song off that?
I have to look. But what stuck out to me was the footwork on the drummer.
Yeah.
Fucking deadly. Every little, you just hear these little nuances of just you know what I mean? And it's
yes, that's all him. That's all him.
So let me kind of go in depth on this, because all the drum parts before I'd gotten here were I had to listen to
longer.
The previous drummer.
That's what it was.
But I took the basis of what he had already done though, and then I just kind of revised it.
Yeah.
You did the intro way better.
Yeah. So
with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
the shit he's talking about.
I wanted to add in the little the gap space that the previous guy had not done. I wanted to make it more full.
Yeah.
So
space.
Yeah. So I took a basis of what they did, but Dr. Discontent is straight me. That's their.
So basically, the last song on our EP is a song that we all collectively wrote together.
Yeah.
But he had a part in playing the drums, because before then, it was either a previous drummer that he had to go off of, or it was drums that I programmed and was like, hey, this is what fits this part. But when I write drums, I kind of write a fucking basic shit.
By the way, it's awesome having 3 different drummers, because
have you guys ever heard of
bounce around with
have you guys ever listened to Nothing More? I think they're called.
Yes, I thought. Fuck yeah, Jeff Loomis.
Right, and fucking there's another band called I can't remember their name right now, but they basically come from a state that is big on march bands, and the drummer, the guitar player, and the singer all do a triple drum solo together you gotta I'll send you guys a link to one of the coolest things. Like their bass player is an electrical engineer, and he created an entire machine for the singer to turn the guitar and shit into like, it looks like a motorcycle, but the left hand controls the bass and the right hand controls the guitar, and he can turn them into dubstep just by the way he moves the machine.
What
So
the
he's
fuck?
controlling the live band. Yeah, they're like the coolest fucking group ever. They're such a trippy fucking band. But
that actually reminds me of the video that there's this dude. It's like it's just like a bell machine. It's all of marbles.
yes, that's a sick video too.
Geared up, and it's playing a song. And there's a guitar on it. There's marbles that are hitting bells.
And the
there's
bass strings.
drum on it. It's fucking insane.
That's wild.
It's pretty cool.
If there was anything in the if there was anything in the music industry that you guys think you would change, what do you think it would be?
Elitism.
Yeah,
that is fine.
The elitist shit. Like that's the only thing. Is like why can't
you work together?
It's like why can't
you
like a tech deathy band work with like a slam band?
Think about it. You
like why can't you cross pollinate? Like I don't understand that because like
you set the standard for the community, man, as far as music goes. And if somebody comes into your community from an outside state and they're like, well, okay, what happened here? Like there's a gap right here in your show. Like, why don't you encourage those same people that came and supported that band to come support the rest of the show? You know what I mean?
That is the big thing around here.
Like you would think that they would push their fans to want to fulfill that show instead of having
just
outside perspectives.
Watch the one band and then go away.
That's really bad.
What you paid to see bands play. Like watch the whole show. Like
I get pissed off at friends when they do that. If my friends come just to watch my set, I get mad at them.
Yeah, you should.
You should.
Yeah, it makes you guys look bad.
You have every right to get pissed about that. Like, it's like, hey, it's like I didn't just invite you to come to my show to watch me play. I came to invite you to my show to watch all of the bands
and have fun.
Like,
I'll take my fucking set off if we play, I'll take my set off and fucking get it off as fast as possible just so I can go back in.
Yeah, me too.
Watch the next band.
If there's one thing
I gotta get my shit in there so I can come back in and be part of the show.
That's another thing. That's another thing because I work in the whole live entertainment industry. I've said that before because I've been in this situation where I played a big show and you're the opening act and you have all this shit that you need to get rid of in X amount of time. They give you hey, you have
20 minutes.
You have 15 minutes to get this shit off stage.
Yep.
And there's been some times where I've been I've gotten the shit off in 5.
Yep.
That's the cool thing is I've instilled that shit into these guys and been hey, dude, because there's been some times I'm we're done.
Well, it's work. Right? Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I'm the same way. It's work.
That's part of the show. It's that's part of being perfect. That's also part of being professional as well.
Get it off.
It's play your shit. Don't fucking
give the band time to set. Get the next band time to set up. Because
most set changes, if you think about it, most set changes are 15 minutes. It's not 15 minutes just for you.
It's for both.
15 minutes for both of you.
Yep.
So that's why I made it a staple for me to be hey, we're done fucking playing. I want to be off the stage in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want all our shit fucking gone.
I get my shit off stage. I fucking break it down in the back.
There's no point in there's no point in taking a cymbal off.
You take the shit off.
You move it off stage right away and then you pack down.
You fucking take that cymbal and the stand and fucking get the fuck off stage.
Answer your question. I would absolutely love to change the way that we look at genres because I promote our band to be, we are multiple genres.
Yeah, we're not just
we are 4 guys that are interested in the same music, but we all have different backgrounds. So that way, when you listen to the beginning of the EP, and you probably have, a lot of people have, when you listen to the beginning and then also listen to all the way to the end,
It's got a bass.
every song is different.
Mhm.
It gives a different vibe. So that way that, not just one person is going to be like, all right, yeah, I like a bunch of down tempo and that's all that you're going to get. No, you're going to get people like to move. I'm sorry. I like a circle pit, not just a hardcore dance, but I like a circle pit. I want to get people running, get people moving.
Now, here's the thing.
First show.
Our very first
Wade's
show.
got a good point.
Our very first show, we started from the get-go on this perspective. So internet does amazing things, brings other bands together from other genres. Okay, so there's a band out of
Louisiana?
Louisiana.
Yeah, I think it was
yes,
Louisiana.
they were coming up. They were touring through Louisiana, and it's like, hey, we need a Tennessee date. Anything helps. House show, anything. I was like, yo, guys, we're playing a show with these guys right here. Let's go. But the thing is not only did it bring a punk crowd, but it brought the metal crowd. And maybe even with some of those sounds from this band, or maybe some sounds from that band, you might take interest in it. And some of these people don't understand that. And within the music industry, that's something that you want to promote, even at your own show. Yeah, your friends are coming out to see you. Yeah, you bring a big crowd, but encourage that crowd also to check out the other bands, because there might be an aspect of that band that you fall in love with, maybe even change your life.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't stop to think about that.
And that like, not to be a dickhead, but that kind of falls on you, because like most vocalists,
Well,
will be like, thanks for coming out. Drop the mic, and fucking leave.
No.
Like most,
be sure to stick around.
and be like, hey man, stick around for so and so, and then like also, and like say if you played before a band, be like also, hey,
That you always do that. You always do that.
I do. Yeah,
and he does that. So like that,
Yeah.
that's another aspect.
But
of
here's the
whole
thing: is it doesn't stop on stage. Once we get off stage, the thing is it should still be a thing when you're in the crowd. Hey man, why aren't you checking out? Just like one time, I went and watched Oceano. Everybody in this band knows that right there is a dream. Yeah, I love Oceano. He looks at me. He goes, "Hey man, you're not gonna go watch the stream? Why isn't all of your members doing that in every show? Hey man, go check out this band. Hey, let's go in here and check them out.
That's what I know.
Work as a unit, because work doesn't stop once you're off stage."
No.
Yeah.
To add on to that, in between intermissions, why are people, biggest thing I see, and I see it ever since I've ever stepped onto a stage, is that people file out for a break, and they know they've been to shows. It only takes 20 minutes or 30 minutes for the next act to get on stage and tune up, and they got, and that's fine. But I get the smoking thing.
How long does it take to smoke? How long does it take?
It's just,
I don't know. It depends on how drunk you are.
Are you smoking a stogie? God damn.
it's very annoying that when it has to take the band to start playing their first song. And some bands don't have like a track. Some bands don't have an intro. They just go into the first song.
And they just play.
Why does it have to wait for them to start playing to be like, oh, hey, the next band's on? And even some cases, and I am attest to this because I have done this before.
It's because you're a musician. That's why.
They just stand there.
Yep.
It's because you're a musician. That's your frustration. It's like that's what he was talking about. It's like earlier. It's like this is like not a normal podcast. It's like it's a musician talking to a musician. So it's like
What I always do when it comes to getting motherfuckers back in is I just like, yo, drummer, it's on you. Just fucking start shredding.
Or it's just like, hey,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
we're about to play, and you play the fucking like intro track, whatever. So like you like people start hearing that shit, and they're like, oh wait, because like the fucking intermission music is different because like once you like, because like most intermission music is just like a random ass fucking band, and like when you hear the fucking band stop playing in the mid song and you hear fucking like orchestral shit happen, you're like, oh shit,
Shit. Yeah,
you're like, oh shit, I should fucking suck 5 puffs of a cigarette and go in here and watch this fucking band. Like,
Right, man. Do you have anything else for us? We got.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there anything that you guys want to say before we wrap up?
I am.
He is.
Oh, you are? Oh, okay.
Just we can answer whatever things you have left for us, man.
Oh, I was just gonna say, is there anything else you guys want to say before we wrap up?
Oh man.
So here recently, we just released the Mr. Hardcore himself, Hardcore Keem, just released his reaction to our EP.
Shout out to him, man.
Dude, that shit.
Shout out to Hardcore Keem.
If you want a good
Shout out.
time, go check
Watch
out that video.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, I've watched it like 3 times, and
It's
I still
good time.
I still chuckle at that
The
shit.
chair.
I actually got a question for you, man. So
Yes, anything.
everybody answered your question, but you.
Yeah.
Why do
go
you
ahead.
play it?
Wait, why do you play music?
No.
Whoa,
I can get into that too.
What could you change?
Oh
about
yes,
this scene?
yes, yeah.
What would
What
I
would you
change?
change?
Oh man, I actually haven't even been asked that one. That's a funny thing. I think you guys are close to over my 50th interview.
Hey,
What I would change,
Put people on the spot. That's
Yeah.
another thing.
you know, for me, I think what I would change is the entire aspect. Honestly, I think that
In what way?
the way that we run things, like I think bands need to start being more as one, because we all have the same dream. I think local bands that are making it, that are big, need to start doing shows with bands that are emerging, especially like I see it in Texas, like Ruben from Upon a Burning Body. He's one of the leaders in the local scene for underground.
Fucking love
I do.
And their part, he's super good. And I mean, there's a broken scene. Like our entire world's metal scene has been, over the past 10, 15 years, slowly become this, I don't know, like this snobby girl at school.
It's been
The elite
it's
is
like
bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
So for me-
it's literally become politics left and
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And that's what I think. I think
Fucking music,
for
not
me,
politics.
Well, I mean,
music
if you think about it,
Yes.
it is.
music is a key thing for revolution. And I think that the reason that our genre and metal itself is so held down by the entire world is because it unites people more than anything. And I think we have the structure for what world peace would be based off. And I think that unity scares people. And I think that the fact that we are these scary metalheads, but in reality, we can walk down the
Rainbows.
street and hug each other. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, yeah, dude, yeah. That's
I think what needs to change in not just the industry is just people need to look at metal music as it's not fucking satanic and it's not just noise. They need to understand that there's so much put behind it, and the bands that how many years do you guys put into your instruments? You know what I mean? Like people don't realize the
I've been
dedication.
playing since I was 15. I'm 35 years old.
I'm 30. I've been playing for 21 years.
I play multiple instruments.
And
I played 13
I started
my
playing
whole
drums when I was in 5th grade. So like I've been playing music since the 5th grade.
I
My
just jacked
first
my
performance was at 12 years, so like I've been doing it forever. I know what you mean, but I think that
Dude, I did concert, like I've done like auditorium, like they filled my shit, like my middle school with people, like your parents come to watch you play a fucking snare drum or a bass drum or like the concert. I've done concert music before.
I was doing open mics in the same venue. My mom was doing open mics on the same night, so she'd be
Nice.
rocking out with her blues band, and I would be like jamming with my punk band. So it was the weirdest thing ever. But I think if there's anything I could change, I think it would be the appreciation for music of like the bands.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
I
Because like
100%. I definitely agree.
I agree with that. Yes.
Because we're not appreciated.
Honestly,
The appreciation. Because
yeah.
like like most people that are not musicians, because like you said, this is not like a normal
we
podcast.
put so much time.
I
You know?
got
You're a musician, and we're musicians. It's like people don't understand the time and effort it
But-
comes into fucking structuring a
But do
fucking
you feel-
song.
But do you feel with everything that's happened with COVID, and I'm talking to everybody, do you feel like with what's happened now, everybody will come back in with that mindset?
I hope
think
so.
so. I think the ones that deserve it.
I honestly think that
Because a lot of people have had a lot of time to sit and like actually
Think
like
about it.
listen. Think about it and also listen, because like how long can you listen to the same
Shit.
style of shit
Yeah.
before
Mhm.
you're like, man, I'm fucking bored, and you branch off of that, and then that just leads you into a fucking
I like-
family tree of bullshit.
I like to call it what I like to call it is McDonald's music.
Yes.
Because realistically, it has no sustenance. It's just given to you. It fills you up, and it doesn't do anything
Yeah,
for you.
until you get tired of it, and then you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to fucking an actual restaurant and like experience the shit that actually inspired the shit that I'm listening to."
I honestly think once people are actually pulled from what I'll say is once people are pulled from quarantine and they actually get out and see what has come from quarantine, not some stupid quarantine song. I'm talking actual new records from other people.
How did you grow?
Yeah, like how did you?
I took a genre of music that I actually. Heavy music is not my original genre.
No, that's
what I'm saying. Is that I have taken the time to explore.
How'd you grow?
Yeah, I was like.
I mean, I've explored. That's what I'm saying. That's how I'm growing. Is because one, I picked up an instrument.
Well, that's what I'm saying with it.
Picked up an instrument that I don't know. I very vaguely know how to play, but I know how to play now. But I've also did.
Well, what I was saying was like about bands in general is how did they grow over, and we'll see that.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome about having a drummer as a bass player though, because he can still keep the fucking rhythm like a motherfucker.
Yeah, no, 100%.
The real answer to that question is the real bands. The real bands will emerge.
The dedication will emerge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The real bands will emerge that actually put in the time.
Yeah.
That's all. The real musicians who put in the time during all of this and who actually strive to continue to do what they want to do and to do what they love, they'll emerge. The people who just kind of rode,
What you
like
talking about earlier.
Yeah, like you said,
fall off.
If they fall off, then they fell off because they didn't. They were in it for the wrong reason.
Yeah. Well, I know for a fact that 6 bands that I've interviewed have signed with record labels in the past 2 months.
Wow.
So emerging bands are getting noticed.
That's the thing. Is like hopefully stuff like doing your podcast and like Hardcore Keem doing his fucking reaction, because like I've
you pushing the social media
him pushing the social media shit, like, but like the getting the reaction videos like and getting us out there is because like I watched like I watched the comments of the YouTube video, and like half of like the comments that are on there are like, "Thank you for introducing me to this band. I'm downloading this now. It's on my they were like, it's on my playlist now." Like that's what this motherfucker.
So honestly,
no, because also, and randomly we had that like whole entire like, was it the Q&A thing?
Yeah.
We had because we
the
had
blog. Like they made blogs about it.
It was a blog, so like a blog basically sent us a bunch of questions, and we all answered. We as in like.
And the article was well written. It was very professional.
The website was metalnoise.net.
Yes.
They are a just like yourself. They're
what's the other one that usually does our shit?
Insane blog.
Insane blog. Yes.
Shout out to both.
Every time he posts something, I go, "Hey man, is there anything we can do for you?" He's like, "Just give me some money, like give donations, something to help." And I'm like, man, I just want to like, once we get like once we start like playing shows again and like making sales off of merch, I want to give that dude some money, because like every time we've released a new single, that dude has been on.
He just posts.
He just posted.
He did Welcome Home, didn't he?
He doesn't ask us. He doesn't say, "Hey, I'm about to do this."
Yeah, he just does it.
He just does it.
And just posts it.
And just posts it, and then we just have to be like, and he'll send us a link and be like, "Hey, I did this," and we're like, "Fuck, man, all right, cool."
Thanks, fucking.
We as a unit just would like to say
thank you to the ones that's been in our corner.
If you work with us, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter what field you are in, if you work with Interpreter as a whole, you will definitely be noticed, and you will definitely not go unnoticed.
We are already so humbled.
We just don't push you just a little bit. We push you a lot.
Yeah, like
if you take the time to work with us, then we will take our time to work with you.
Because we've done 2 podcasts. We've done two podcasts with another one called Lost in the Dark. Shout out to
Shout out to Love.
Shout out.
If you're not following them already, Lost in the Dark.
Lost in the Dark podcast.
Dude, we went into that podcast thinking it was gonna be like maybe like an hour. It ended up being 3 hours. It's 20 minutes.
That podcast ended up being 3 hours.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it really just depends on how well you converse with people, right?
Well, so the thing is, like, because
we're vibing.
because I think our first podcast was like maybe like an hour and a half.
It was like 2 hours.
Well, okay, whatever. But but like because like this was after and also before the podcast we did was words are hard. It's before we did our EP release. So like the second podcast was after our EP release, and so we had like a shitload to talk about because like he did a full like mock write-up of our EP. Like he didn't react to it like Hardcore King did, but like he listened to it and he did like a thing what they call Dark Reflections. And dude, he
talked about it for like 30 minutes.
He talked about it for like 30 minutes, but he was like, I could go on for another 30, 40 minutes about how fucking
he talked about our EP longer
That's why I don't reviews.
He basically talked about our EP longer than the EP was because our EP is like 22 minutes long, and like he talked about it for like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. That's why I don't do the reviews. I let Norman do them. He does written reviews for us. He's my partner. He's my bass player too. I'm like, yeah, I would just go on forever.
You're like,
Well, hey, if Norman would like to do anything for us, then
oh no, that's automatic. Just coming on here. Basically, what we've kind of partnered up with 2 other companies now. Not necessarily companies, but they're kind of like us. Like one's a radio station, so I'll be sending you guys to him, and he'll be playing airtime for you. And then I'm going to send you to another podcast with my friend from Calgary, and his name is Nate Trash. So you guys, you'll have 2 more contacts for that. And then I also was recently asked to work for to help with the Heavy Metal Way of Life group on Facebook, which has like almost 10,000 people now. So we have like a huge group of people that are working together to help
post
every
that
band.
fucking pit video.
Just make sure that any of these things that you do, at least get us a link. As long as I can get a link.
Hashtag.
Yeah, no, you'll get it right away.
Interpreter.
Yeah, I can. As long as I get a link, I will push it on all our socials.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'll definitely send you guys a link, and I'll also send you all the links for the other things I was talking about too. As soon as we end this, and then you guys can get in contact with them too.
Thanks,
dude. This has been awesome.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on, guys. I love it. I love getting to like chill with people that I feel like I've been friends with forever. You know what I mean? Like you just get lost in conversation. And I think
a bunch of metalheads been fucking sitting in a room
right?
Like because like fucking Burton from Lost in the Dark, he's like I've been basically moshing with the walls, man. Like I need some human contact. I was like I want to go to a show.
Yeah,
like,
for
man,
sure.
Shows start happening, dude. It's gonna get rough.
One last question before we close out here. Where are you from?
I'm from BC. We're actually from British Columbia.
Oh, wow. Oh, nice.
So, just so
Canada?
Yeah, the west coast of Canada.
Yeah, west coast Canada.
I'm like,
so just to let you know, if we do, however, get to book anything in Canada, we'll make sure to try to book something up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you guys there?
My door's open too for you guys if you ever need a place to crash. So you're more than welcome.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's not my man.
This guy gonna make me cry.
Anybody that's taking the time to find out who we are, even check us out, maybe support us in like he was saying in any way that you've done.
I mean, we've grown.
Thank you.
Yeah, we
really do it. Seriously, because like me and this dude have been through thick.
Thank you so much.
Thick and thin, man. Like to get to where we are now, because like it all started. It's literally this whole band started with Alligator. But then it evolved into what we are now. But like what we're gonna do is, this is.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
man.
you.
Trust me, and also we will be. We're writing as well. So
yeah, we are writing a new EP. It's a concept,
but we're not gonna disclose it.
Yeah, we're gonna disclose anything.
We're gonna get a little surprise, but we are working on a new EP.
Well, let me know when you guys drop that, and we'll have you back on for another interview.
It should be.
You definitely gonna be waiting on that one, my man.
We're really diving deep into this one.
We are thinking really hard about this one, so I would imagine beginning of next year.
I will say this. We had mentioned earlier. This is all I'm going to say. We mentioned earlier about talking to the machine.
Mm-hmm.
That is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking.
Hey, thank you for having us, man.
Thank you.
Mic drop.
Thanks, man. Really
No, thank you guys, and you guys stay safe, and we'll be in contact for sure.
All right, man.
All right, guys. Peace.
Peace out, dude.
Later, bro.